Alright, it's doing it. Okay. We'll see what happens. See? Let's see if it's pretty good. Alright, smile at the smartboard. Says, I'm back. Feels like really this is like the first time I've seen you guys because it's been so long since I've been in this room. But we're going to do a bunch of things today. Here's our long list of things to do in art class number 2. We're going to review. And we're going to talk Mona Lisa and Thinker and give me 5. Give me 5. Good. Did your teacher say that to you?
No.
What?
Miss G does.
You're supposed to. Well, I'm still good. Give me 10. I like 10 better. Anyway. We're going to read a book about Keith Haring. He is one of the original street artists. And his book will kind of give us like the why. Why do street artists do what they do? Practice drills, no, because I don't know how Miss Clark does drills in here. I'll let her talk to you about that. Has she talked to you about drills?
No.
Not yet? Okay, I think y'all are going to talk about that today, so I'll let her do that. And then we're going to make a sketchbook that you can take home and keep all for your own. Sketchbooks, I'm not going to keep them in the art class this year because this is the art room. You can take your sketchbook home. We'll talk about it. You can do anything you want with it. If we need a sketchbook in the art room later, we'll make another one. This one was going to be yours. Good, quiet hand.
I made my own sketchbook and I'll show you it.
Very good. Yeah. Remind me because I'll probably forget. Sure.
It's a red one though.
Cool. Okay, so review. We talked about our art jobs. I'm sure Miss G talked about those same jobs with you in music and probably library and PE. Last time you guys did a great job with these jobs. You're all being good listeners. We'll move with our sketchbooks in a little bit. I liked how Michaela remembered quiet hands. I can tell you guys have been in school for 4 weeks now. Y'all have gotten back into your groove. I know it's only been 8 days, but it's been 4 weeks. So you guys know the job's consequences are listed on this side. Just have to tell you what they are. Hopefully we don't ever have to worry about them. But if you're not doing your job, first you will get a warning. Probably 2 warnings because I'm so awesomely nice and kind.
That's true.
And if that doesn't work, then we'll have a teacher conference, which is like a timeout. We'll take a break from your art activity and we'll talk about things and hopefully get your behavior back on track. But if it's not, then we send a note home or talk to Ms. Hall, the guidance counselor, Ms. Allen, the assistant principal.
And then you get expelled.
Questions about consequences? Ooh, quiet hands. Michaela?
Do you like set timers?
For the timeout? I have one. I don't have it on my cart though. I haven't needed it just yet, but I can. Yeah, I've got it like a sand timer like Miss G does. Riley?
It's like when you draw on the lines in art class, you get a warning.
Right. Warnings. I mean, really, we stay so busy, and especially with things being weird like they are now, I think we'll be fine. Okay, you guys know Mona Lisa. Let's see if you can see it on video. This is perfect. I'm going to turn the lights off so you can see her better. She helped me get your attention, but we're doing her a little differently this year. It's super dark on the video. We'll see how it goes. Last year I would just say, show me your Mona Lisa, and you would do that. Today, this year, we're going to do it like Marco Polo in the swimming pool. I'll say Mona, you say Lisa, and then you sit up tall, look like Mona Lisa. It's so much fun. Ready? Mona.
Lisa.
Sit up tall, cross your hands, eyes on me, and don't move till I say. It's so much more fun. I love it. Mona.
Lisa.
Well, they're very good at this.
Do we still do
We'll practice Mona Lisa bench today, and let's see, Mona Lisa, her history. I'm sure I've told you guys before, but she's painted over 500 years ago by Leonardo da Vinci, not the Ninja Turtle. And the painting is hanging in this mask. I was really excited about the mask. Hold on, let me put my plastic one on. It keeps falling down under my nose. Okay. She's hanging in an art museum in Paris, France, called the Louvre. It's one of the most famous museums ever. But the painting has had lots of adventures. If you ever get bored and you want something to look up, you can look up Mona Lisa and all the adventures. She's been lost, she's been stolen, she's been missing for years, found in the back of some guy's house. She's been counterfeited. Somebody tried to make a fake Mona Lisa. So she's very popular, I think, because her look is very mysterious, but also her story is very mysterious too.
Wait,
So
was that
she's
a-
very, very popular.
Was that a
Questions about Mona before we talk about Thinker?
what? Was Mona Lisa actually a person?
That's another part of the mystery. Nobody really knows who she was.
That's a person.
Right. I mean, she's a person, but was she a real person? Did Leonardo make her up in his head? We don't know. It's very mysterious. Jatavia?
Is she a wife too?
No. This was 500 years ago. Yes. Very long time ago. Riley?
Did she like get popular and then all that crazy stuff happened to her?
I think she's always been a famous painting, but because of that, then crazy things started happening. Yeah. Right now, she's under bulletproof glass in the museum, lasers and security, all sorts of stuff. So she's safe now, but she has had a tumultuous history.
Has she ever got broken?
I don't know.
What?
You'll have to look it up.
Wait, why did they make the laser? Why did they put lasers in
It's not real lasers, it's just lasers.
It's like security lasers,
It's
like
if you cross them, it'll
bank,
alarm.
like
It's
the
like if you cross them, it'll alarm you.
Right. Not like fun lasers like we talked about last time. Did we talk about lasers last time?
No.
No.
I'm not close with that.
Okay, and then you guys know this guy, I'm sure Ms. G's practiced this with you as well. If somebody knocks on the door, if there's an announcement, you have to freeze. Can't do it with plastic.
I don't
Uh-oh,
have to wait.
Y'all forget quiet hands. And the quiet while teachers are teaching rule. You have to pretend you're made of stone. He's actually made of metal, but he's hard like stone, heavy metal. The funny thing about the Thinker is there's not just one of him. There's just one original Mona Lisa painting. There will never be another. But there's lots of Thinker statues all over the world. Lots of cities have their own Thinker statue. Thumbs up if you know ice cube trays, where you fill them with water and you put them in the freezer and they freeze, get hard, and you pop out a bunch of ice cubes. It's kind of how the Thinker works. There's a Thinker shaped mold. You fill it with metal. The metal cools, gets hard, so you pop out a Thinker. And you can fill it with metal again. Cool, pop out another Thinker. So there's not, I mean, there's one original Thinker. I don't know where it is. Somebody asked me yesterday where the original sculpture is, but the copies, there's many all over the world, probably 30 or I don't know, more. So it's different how the Thinker is set up than other paintings. Okay.
What's the real Thinker made
I think they're all made out of metal. I think the artist is Auguste Rodin, or Odin.
of? How did they make it like, if it's like an ice cream, how come it's not flat?
Originally, okay, so they make the mold, and the mold is filled with metal, but to make the mold, he may have been carved out of clay, and then the plaster put around the mold to make the shape, and then they take the clay out. It's kind of a weird process, is making the sculptures, or the molds for sculptures. Could be wax, sometimes they'll make them out of wax, and then they put the plaster around it to make the hard mold, and then they get the wax out and fill it with metal. Yes, I've only done it like once or twice, it's very complicated, it's not my jam. Question, Clayton? Alright, any other questions about Thinker or Mona? Give me 10. I like 10 better than 5.
What about
Good.
this? What about flat?
I don't know 2s, 1s, 4s, bathrooms, water breaks, I don't know any of those. All I know is 10. Or 5. Usually it's 10. Alright, so we're going to talk today more about street art, more about like the why street artists do what they do. What is the purpose of street art? And the book will give you a lot of answers to that question. We'll talk about it when it's over. I'm going to let the smart word read you the story because the pictures are bigger. And it gives my voice a break. It's been talking all day, every day. And then I'll ask you a couple questions afterwards.
He's Haring, the boy who just kept drawing. Written by K.A. Haring, illustrated by Robert Newbecker. There was a boy named Keith. When he was little, his father taught him how to draw dogs and fish and funny things. His dad would draw a line, then Keith would draw one. Soon, the whole page would be full. From that time on, Keith never stopped drawing. In elementary school, while taking tests, Keith doodled on the edge of his paper. When he handed in his work, his teachers would say, "Why did you doodle on this important paper?" Keith didn't answer. He went back to his desk and just kept drawing. Sometimes Keith invited his friends to draw in his backyard clubhouse. Keith made symbols and said each one represented a letter of the alphabet. His friends asked, "Why do you use symbols to write?" He drew more symbols. It was his way of answering their question. He encouraged his friends to join him. As a teenager, Keith liked to draw in his bedroom with music playing loud. He would draw on every piece of paper he could find. His mother had to yell over the music, "Why can't you turn that music down and go outside and ride your bike?" But Keith had sold his bike to buy art supplies, so he answered, "Look at all the cool drawings I did." And he just kept drawing. When Keith was in high school, he won first prize for his art. A successful couple from town offered to buy his drawing. Keith said, "No, thank you. If you enjoy my art, you may hang it on your wall, no charge." Keith's sisters were shocked. "Why didn't you take the money?" they asked. Keith shrugged. He just wanted to keep drawing. Keith graduated from high school and went to the big city of Pittsburgh to a school that would teach him about art. There were boys on the street trying something new, breakdancing. He liked the crazy shapes of their bodies as they turned and flipped on the ground. While the music played loud, Keith started drawing wiggly lines. His teachers asked him, "Why are you drawing pictures that look like scrambled bodies? This is not what we told you to draw." Keith knew how to draw. He just wanted to draw different ways. And he kept drawing. Keith moved to the huge city of New York when he was 20, so he could draw with other artists. He started to draw all over the city, on walls, on sidewalks, and on paper that hung on lampposts. His drawings were washed away by the rain or torn down by the street cleaners. Other artists asked Keith, "Why do you draw in places where your pictures will be erased?" Keith didn't hear them. He was searching for another wall so he could keep drawing. Keith got a job delivering packages and sometimes rode the subway. One day, he saw a panel of black paper on the wall in a station. He rushed outside to buy chalk and came back and began to draw. The white chalk made bright, smooth lines on the black paper. Day after day, Keith filled the empty panels in the subway stations with art. Soon, people who rode the subway were looking for the white chalk drawings. No one knew the name of the artist, but his drawings were easy to recognize. People asked him, "Why are you drawing here? What do your pictures mean?" Keith said, "What do you see? You decide what they mean." Where Keith lived, there was trash on the street, and people didn't always say hello to each other. One day, he and his friends cleaned up 20 bags of garbage in front of a long wall. Then, he painted square faces with smiles and body shapes dancing upside down. The neighbors liked the drawings and stopped to say thank you. A policeman came by and lectured Keith. "Why did you do this? I have to give you a ticket because you didn't get permission." Keith paid the fine and just kept drawing. Soon, people wanted to see more of Keith's drawings, and he was asked to display his work in an art gallery. Art was hung from floor to ceiling, and in between, he painted on the walls. Keith invited everyone to come and enjoy his work. All of Keith's artwork sold. The gallery owner asked him, "What are you going to do with all this money?" Keith said, "I read in the newspaper that there are kids who don't have enough to eat. I didn't have this money yesterday and I was happy. If I don't have it tomorrow, I'll still be happy. All children need to eat. I'll send the money to them." The gallery owner gasped. Why? Keith smiled and started to draw again. Now people were inviting Keith to draw in famous museums and exhibit in galleries all over the world. He was proud that he had become a successful artist, but wherever he went, Keith insisted he paint a mural so everyone could enjoy his work, not just the people who had money to buy it. During a visit to Paris, France, Keith painted on the outside of a children's hospital, 6 stories high. Newspaper reporters came to take pictures and asked, "Why did you paint at the hospital? Do you think it will make sick children feel better?" Keith didn't have time to answer. He had to finish the painting. When the Statue of Liberty was 100 years old, Keith drew an outline of the famous statue on a huge piece of vinyl fabric. Then he asked 900 kids to help him finish the drawing. Keith told them, "Draw anything, whatever you want. No one can say it's bad or good. It's yours." When the giant painting was displayed, people were amazed to see what Keith and the kids had made. But the art critics couldn't understand why a famous artist was drawing with kids. But you know Keith, he just kept drawing. He painted all over the world. He would draw on anything, anytime, anywhere. Wherever he went and whatever he did, he would not stop. He just kept drawing. Now everyone wanted to know, and together they shouted, "Why? Why do you draw all the time? Why do you give your artwork away? Why do you draw on buildings, on people, on clothing, on furniture, on subway walls, on cars, on skateboards, on walls that belong to no one, and on things that can be thrown away? Why do you draw on everything?"
I say, why not?
He stopped drawing, just for a moment, and answered, "I draw all the time because there are many spaces to fill. I give my drawings away to help make the world a better place. I draw everywhere because everyone needs art." Then Keith turned back to the street, took a piece of chalk from his pocket, and just kept drawing. Art is for everyone.
Okay. Let's pause it back on my favorite page for a second. And then my question to you is why, or what is the purpose, this is my favorite page, what is the purpose of street art? Why did Keith Haring make art the way he did? He could have painted a portrait like Mona Lisa, they could put it in a frame and hang it in a museum, but Keith Haring did not make his art like that. Why? Why did he do his art the way he did? Michaela?
To make people happy.
Yeah, to make people happy. How did it make people happy, Michaela?
Because he had it all over the world, so more people could see it and more people can enjoy it.
Exactly, and having it outside on the street means people can enjoy it for free. Some people have a lot of money and can buy famous paintings, but most of us really appreciate being able to see artwork without having to pay to buy the painting or to go into a museum or a gallery. We can enjoy it just walking down the street. Thumbs up if you've seen street art since we talked about it last week. Anybody see a painting on the street? Riley? Yeah, there's some in Augusta, and there's a couple new murals in Augusta too. If you drive past the Green Jacket Stadium and over that bridge, there's some over in that area. Do you see something, Elizabeth?
Yeah, well, I go with Betsy's and I see like murals and stuff.
Very cool, very cool. What was in your mural, Riley?
I knew I seen street art. It was like on a yellow brick wall. There were just like spots of color everywhere. They were big spots. So they didn't just get a paintbrush and stuff.
Yeah,
I watched videos.
cool. What was in your street art, Elizabeth?
There was a big plane that had flowers in it.
Cool,
And there was also a horse mural.
very cool. Aiken, I bet you has a lot of horse murals because there's a lot of horse folks in Aiken. Landon, do you know street art?
There was one. I can't remember who it was from. It was on like a black brick wall, and they took and it was multiple people. It was like came and
I just found his street art too. It's kind of like Keith Haring in the subway, Landon, when he cut those black pieces of paper. Let's see, it's around here. Big city, there it is. And he found the white chalk and drew. Let me cut the light, you can't see it. You might want to choose a black piece of paper for your sketchbook cover today. Those white lines. You can do white crayon on your black paper. Okay, so this page isn't nearly as exciting as that one. Okay, why else? Michaela gave us one good answer, so that makes people happy. Everybody can enjoy it. What's another reason? Let's see if I can do this without starting it all over again.
All of Keith's artwork sold.
This is a good page. Why else? So everyone can enjoy it, and Landon?
He said art is for everyone.
Yep, art is for everyone.
Maybe he wanted to inspire.
Yeah, communicating his ideas, absolutely. And he did inspire lots of people. He's one of the founding street artists. But what else did his art do for places? Like in this one where he got in trouble, he got a ticket from the police. But what did his art do to this part of his neighborhood? Jatavia? Yeah, it made it look better, right? He said they picked up a bunch of trash, and then he painted the wall, and then people started to come and say thank you and talk to each other. And they didn't really do that before when it was all junky. So it does, it makes everything look a little better too. So yeah, he did get a ticket. If you don't have permission to paint on a building, you'll get a ticket. Just like if I were to speed in my car, I'm not allowed to do that, I would get a ticket. So if you don't have permission to paint on a building, you will get in trouble. So you gotta follow the rules, even when you're breaking the rules a little bit. Brianna?
Question.
Sure.
Is it real?
Uh-huh. Yep, Keith Haring is a real, well, he passed away, but he made art. He was making art when I was about Chell's age. And we'll see a picture of him in a second, but I think that back of the book shows some photographs of his artwork. Yeah, there's the real painting in his neighborhood. It's a real painting. Just like the upside down people and everything. It's a real place.
Can I see?
Oh yeah, of course.
We didn't already dry it.
Or did it wash away?
If the people who owned the building wanted it gone, they probably painted over it. But if the people who owned the building liked it, they probably kept it. And if they kept it, that's probably a smart idea because his artwork is very valuable now. It's like having a Mona Lisa. Not quite that valuable, but pretty close.
Lecture.
It's just like $3,000.
Why did you do?
Okay. So, y'all answer this question really good. But most of Keith Haring's ideas started in what you're going to make today, and that's a sketchbook. Thumbs up if you already have a sketchbook at home. A sketchbook is a book that artists use to draw, practice, write, sketch, brainstorm. If you already have one, you get to make another one today. We'll watch the video. It says it's time for you to make a sketchbook, like this Sketchbook Kid. The Sketchbook Kid, we probably watched it last year in 3rd grade. It gives a good example of how you can use your sketchbook. But Keith Haring's sketchbooks look like this. Here's a couple pages and a cover of Keith Haring's sketchbooks. And you're going to work in yours just like he did. You can draw landscapes, you can draw random things, you can draw comics, you can draw the covers. However you want to use your sketchbook, they're yours this year. We don't have to use them for art class. You get to use, because I'm not going to see y'all for so long. You have a whole book you can fill with art until we see each other again. Directions are even easier than this. You're going to choose a cover, any color you want. And like I said, you can choose black if you want to use your white crayon. The other colors don't look quite as bright on black, but the white looks good. Fold it in half with the short sides together. And then start working on your cover. Write your name and decorate. And then I've already got the pages kind of stapled. I'll come staple them in with my giant sketchbook stapler. And then we'll talk about working on the pages. But to start, just work on the cover. So step 1 is fold. Step 2 is write your name, and you can color on the cover, and then I'll come help you with your pages. I'll flip it back one. And then watch the Sketchbook Kid video. Oh, and I want to show you on the video of your street art down by the art room too. Questions? Fold, name, color? Okay. Raise your hand if you would like. Black for your cover. Hand tie. Oh, not black. Okay, hold on 2 seconds. Oh, you do? Question and black, huh? All right. Hand tie. Okay, what's your question?
Can we do write our name inside the cover?
Sure, it's yours. Guys, you're gonna keep it at your house or in your book bag or your desk. It's totally up to you how you figure this one. You are welcome. Anybody with brown? Oh, black, sorry. Brown is kind of like cardboard, like a lot of sketchbooks you buy in the store have a brownish color. No browns. Next is yellow.
I don't know what to do.
Bold, name, decorate. Yellow, no. Green. Green. No, what's my favorite color? Yay, you see this. Oh, no, Carrie's left. Oh, Abby's not paying attention. Red. All right, Abby, we're picking sketchbook covers. Let's pick the color. Red, raise your hands. No red's orange. Everybody have it. What color do you want, Brianna? White. Oh, I don't have a white. We can do this.
I would white, but I sold those no white.
We can do this way. Yeah, good. And sketchbooks are a lot like journals. Michaela says journal, and she's got a page where she drew a picture, and she's got a page where she was writing. You can use the sketchbook however you want. If you are not, you would rather write about things and draw, you can fill your sketchbook with more words. If you don't want to write one word in sketchbook, totally fine. It's yours. You use like you want. We'll talk about page 1 in just a second. What did she say, Abby? Okay, try that first. No fever though? Okay. Yes, ma'am. Oh, that's cool. Very cool. Okay, smile at smartboard real quick. And this is the Sketchbook Kid. And he's using charcoal, which is like black chalk. His sketchbook. Tear your pages out like the sketchbook boy, but if you want to, you can. But he carries it with him everywhere he goes. That's how you can use yours too. I was going to say though, you guys probably have a lot in common with Keith Haring, our artist. You guys are a whole lot like him. You probably didn't even think about it. Raise your hand if somebody draws pictures with you at home, or did when you were little. Yeah, like Keith Haring. Raise your hand if you like to draw in class. Oops, that's me. Remember, Keith Haring's teacher said, "Why did you draw this important test?"
Landed on trouble last year.
Just like Keith Haring. It's okay. I listen to everything said in meetings, but my hand often is doodling on my paper. My brain is still listening. Raise your hand if you like loud music. Keith Haring liked to draw in his room with loud music. Thumbs up if you've ever had an artwork in the student art show. They didn't have an art show last year because they canceled everything, but maybe it's from second grade or first grade or kindergarten, or maybe a brother or sister had something in the art show and you got to go see. Cool, yeah, just like Keith Haring. Raise your hand if you like breakdancing. Or the music that goes with breakdancing? Hip hop music? Okay, good. Keith Haring was inventing street art, while the dancers were inventing breakdancing, while the musicians were inventing hip hop music. That was the crowd he hung out with in New York City. It was a really cool time to be an artist. All those artsy fartsy folks hanging out in the big city. Raise your hand if you've ever been to a big city. Maybe not New York City, but like Charlotte or Atlanta or Columbia.
Or beach.
Yeah, Myrtle Beach would be a big city, bigger than Augusta. Keith Haring went to the big city and he never left. He loved it. Thumbs up if you've done sidewalk chalk. Yeah, you've drawn a picture on the sidewalk, right? It was beautiful and then it rained and it was gone. Just like Keith Haring's artwork didn't last forever. Raise your hand if you've ever given your art to someone. Like a teacher, look, I got given 2 artworks yesterday, Rose and the other one's on the back. You didn't make him pay you any money?
I gave you mine.
Yay, just like Keith Haring. And then my last one is raise your hand if you made art with hundreds of other people. No. Raise your hands, that's what we did last week. No? You made your quarter circles and I hung them all together down the hall. I'm about to find the video because y'all probably haven't made it down that way maybe. Just like Keith Haring. See, y'all have a whole lot in common with Keith Haring. You didn't even know it. Alright, let me see, I'll get to mine.
I didn't even know him.
I know, he's one of the most famous street artists. Let's go to, I think y'all are right there, because look, there's nose. Oh, we'll go back to it.
Well, it was black or white, so it's gonna be hard.
I'll show you, because I know where nose is, and y'all's are near his. So I can help out, I can't help out in all the classes. But that's what your street art looks like down the hall. I'll leave it up. Look, there's the 3 black lines I told you guys about last
Is
week.
that, I see me at the bottom,
Is that yours?
I think.
Could be.
It's too
Doesn't it
hard
look
to
cool?
see. It's too hard just to move back a little.
Alright, but the video's over, Miss Clark will probably be unlocking that door, so start putting your things away. Alright, here's us, y'all will probably here somewhere. There's Noah's.
I see mine.
Let's see, can I pause?
It's at the bottom.
No, that's not mine.
No, it won't
Mine's
pause?
at the bottom.
Okay, y'all saw?
I don't see mine.
Somewhere?
I forgot which one mine is.
It's been a while since y'all made it. I can believe that.
I forgot what mine looks like. I saw mine.
I'm gonna leave it hang up, hopefully it'll still be hanging up when we get to go back down that way to the art room. Hopefully it won't be that long. Oh, look, and there's the art room. Y'all remember?
Yeah.
Oh, so sad.
It's just different, it's not bad, it's just weird. Alright, when Miss Clark gets back, make sure everything's put away. I don't know what she'll tell y'all to do with your sketchbooks, but it might end up in your book bag
This is her design.
or your desk. They're good indoor recess books. Shatavia, just hang tight. Yeah, Miss Clark's about to be like, alright, we did good. Look, and we're